Around the time that I got pregnant with my second baby, I started eating 3 eggs every single day. It wasn't on purpose, it's just the thing that I could eat, especially during first trimester when I was particularly nauseous. But after multiple months of eating 3 eggs every single day, the changes that I saw to my body were so obvious and absolutely life-changing that I have not stopped since. So today I'm sharing 3 absolutely crazy things that happened to my body after eating 3 eggs every single day for at least 9 months. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance. On my channel, I share the science-backed and delicious information to help you achieve your weight loss and wellness dreams. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Today's video is also sponsored by Kettle and Fire, but more on them in a bit. Okay, the first thing that I really noticed is that my skin has been so much more hydrated. And this is by far the biggest change that I noticed from eating 3 eggs every single day. I've never had like dry skin per se, but I also never really felt like I had that like lush, beautiful, glowing skin. And after just a few months of eating 3 eggs per day / still until this day, I've noticed significant changes to my skin and its overall appearance. Like especially right here on my forehead, it just feels so much more hydrated and really smooth. I kind of just feel like all those different lotion commercials where they're talking about like your lush, moisturized skin. That is how my skin has felt for like over 9 months now. And that's even after pregnancy. I've never been one to have like a skincare routine. I don't use like nice lotions. I don't do like all the face masks and all the things. So it's definitely not from anything like that. But what I have attributed it to are the eggs. And there's science-backed reasons why. Eggs are really rich in a variety of different nutrients that directly help the skin to just look really healthy and vibrant. Eggs are rich in B vitamins, which can help to reduce inflammation and help to get rid of old skin cells. Eggs are also particularly rich in vitamin A, which is what I think is the biggest reason why my skin has really benefited, because vitamin A is crucial for creating those new healthy skin cells. And then eggs also contain vitamin D, which helps to regulate that skin cell growth. Eggs are also rich in antioxidants like lutein, which could be really critical for helping to prevent UV damage and reducing the appearance of wrinkles. In fact, there's actually one study done on people eating just 1 egg per day for 5 weeks, and it found that it increased their blood lutein levels by about 26%. And I've been eating 3 eggs per day. All these nutrients are really important for getting rid of those old dead skin cells and creating new, vibrant, healthy skin cells, all of which could greatly contribute to the fact that my skin has been looking really nice. But it's not just the skin on my face, it's like the skin on my arms, like especially right here on my like deltoid area and on my legs. It's just felt really smooth and nice, like I'm constantly wearing lotion. Which, speaking of nutrients that are really important for skin health, I want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Kettle and Fire. Kettle and Fire is my all-time favorite bone broth company because they slowly simmer bones from grass-fed cows to make sure they're pulling out as much nutrients as possible. And part of the nutrients that you get from bone broth are collagen. In fact, bone broth is a really rich natural source of collagen, and collagen is also very important for skin health too. As a nutritionist, I've seen and studied all the amazing benefits of collagen, as well as the whole food source of collagen, bone broth. And although I know how to make bone broth, I just honestly don't have the time. I'm a mom of 2. I'm also a business owner, so my time is very, very limited. So I love that Kettle and Fire makes it super easy and convenient for me to have a high quality bone broth that's rich in collagen. I can grab it at the grocery store, or I can order it online and have it in my pantry just ready to go to add to pretty much any meal. And I add bone broth to everything. I add it to my soups, my stews, my chilies, and I often add it to like any type of sauce to replace the water that would have been in it. All of which will provide that natural boost of collagen. And Kettle and Fire is super generous, and they're offering my community 20% off your bone broth purchase when you use code AUTUMNBAITS at checkout. So make sure you stock up, and I'll have the link down in the description below. Okay, the second thing that I noticed from eating 3 eggs per day also had to do with my skin, and it's that it felt more firm. Now, I've only ever gotten like a couple of facials done before in my life. Like I mentioned, I'm not one to have this whole entire skincare routine, but one of the times that I did get a facial, they used something that I believe is called a derma roller, which is like this little face roller that have these little micro needles that are supposed to cause these micro traumas to your skin, which then stimulates the collagen production and can help to reduce the appearance of wrinkles. Now, the one time I did that, afterward, my face literally felt like, I don't want to say like plump, but just like firm and full and nice. Now, from eating 3 eggs per day, this is literally how my face and my arms and the skin around my legs has felt every single day. It feels like there's just more collagen underneath my skin that's sort of just filling out the gaps. And all this could be the result of the same nutrients that I just mentioned earlier that help with skin hydration too, which is just a further example of how the micronutrients like the various vitamins and minerals are just as important as the macronutrients like the protein, and how they can come together and result in all of these amazing devastating changes to the body. And I know what you're thinking, especially with these changes to my skin. It's probably just pregnancy glow. Let me tell you, I did not have this at all with my first pregnancy, and I also was not eating nearly as many eggs during my first pregnancy. And these changes stayed after being pregnant too. But speaking of pregnancy, the third really big thing that I noticed is that I did not gain nearly as much weight during this second pregnancy as I did my first. In fact, it ended up being about 12 pounds less that I gained during this pregnancy than during my first. Now, of course, this one always can be pregnancy specific, although it's usually more common to gain more weight with your second than it is with your first. And theoretically, this could have happened regardless of if I was eating eggs or not. But there are science-backed reasons why eggs probably made it so that I didn't gain as much body fat during this pregnancy. There's also science-backed reasons for why eggs are so crucial and helpful for weight loss and fat loss goals too. The first reason is that eggs raise certain hormones in your body that just make you feel full and satisfied. Specifically, it raises hormones like peptide YY and GLP-1, which yes, GLP-1 is that same hormone that's targeted by different medications like Ozempic. When these hormones are raised, it makes us feel so full and so satisfied that we don't feel like eating sugar, we don't feel like eating as much later on, and we're just satisfied. Which this is exactly what I noticed when I was eating 3 eggs every single morning during my pregnancy. I just felt really satisfied. I didn't have the sugar cravings that I had with my first pregnancy, and I was able to gain weight at a steady rate that also still supported my body and my baby. In fact, there have been numerous studies done comparing eggs to other breakfast food items like oatmeal, which is typically considered like a healthy breakfast. And it's been found that eating eggs makes you feel so much more full and so much more satisfied than these other breakfast food items, even than oatmeal, that people end up not feeling as hungry later in the day, and they also end up eating less later in the day too. Plus, eggs provide a good source of protein, which protein is needed to help the body from losing muscle mass during the fat loss process. When we're able to hold on to muscle when we're losing fat, it makes it so that our metabolism doesn't slow down, which ultimately makes it so much easier to not only maintain the weight that we've lost, but also to keep on achieving those fat loss goals. Which is why I often recommend using eggs either for breakfast or for lunch in its various forms, especially when on a fat loss journey, because it just makes it so much easier. It makes you more full, more satisfied, it makes you crave less sugar, and it also does a better job at keeping muscle and preventing your metabolism from tanking. However, if you are on a fat loss journey, there are certain ways to actually eat eggs to make sure that you're optimizing for fat loss. So make sure you check out exactly what you should be eating eggs with in order to maximize for fat loss results with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.